little gal named Sally Gooden, and I asked her to marry me, then she said you wouldn't.
Here we are again with the Ascend FS12T 2012 version. Going over a few more modifications on this video. You can see my paddle. You can see where I've stuck it through this cord that I have added to it. And you can also see a couple of my stickers. No, that does not mean I have caught 2 sharks. I've not even tried to go shark fishing. But someday maybe. But I thought I'd have something a little cool on my paddles. Now it's not only just something visual for me. This is reflective tape. Reflective tape also on this paddle. And those are on the forward side of the paddles, so that whenever I am paddling at night, people can more easily see. They'll see a flashing of those with their lights, and hopefully they've got lights, power boaters that is, whenever they're going. Now I just cut those out, and of course I was left with the outline of that, and I hate to waste things, so I went ahead and put those right along the side. This is at the stern end here, and of course on the other side is the same thing. And yes, those are upside down. Just in case I flip this thing over, people will still be able to see that they are sharks. No, it was not a mistake. Heaven forbid. So, that's one modification. But I got the paddle out to show another modification. And to start with that, one of the things that I really like to have on a kayak, or any boat for that matter, are a bunch of attachment points. Now this attachment goes to the seat, and it's supposed to come back here and attach to this loop. Well, these loops are awful small, so there really wasn't much I could add to this loop to attach to if I needed to for something else. So I went ahead and added this. Attached it to here, and this has a much larger loop. So now I've attached this to this, and for just whatever reason, I can attach a little carabiner, a little D-ring, and attach to that quickly and easily. So I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I'll just take a standard connector. There we go, it's connected. And connect this other one up to it. Oops, trying to do this one-handed isn't all that easy. Let's try my right hand. Yep, almost. Got it. And of course you're going to have to adjust your straps here. And then I'll go ahead and add another little D-ring. In fact, I like to have these attachments so much, I've gone ahead and added up here in the front a little D-ring to that one, and a little D-ring to this one. Little carabiners. And I'll have those things all over the place. But let's get back to the paddle. One of the things that's extremely important in kayaking, since your paddle is your motor, if you lose your paddle, you've lost any control you have over where you're going, unless you want to get out and swim. So you need to have a paddle leash, something attached either to you or to the kayak to keep it there just in case it gets dropped or, whatever reason. Yeah, so it doesn't keep on going down the river or across the lake whenever you're not near it. Now, what a lot of people will do is they'll have just a rope attached to this, and it'll be flopping around all over the place. Well, what I've done is I really hate loose ropes. Really hate loose ropes. I said it twice, yes, because I really hate loose ropes. So, what I have done is I have taken a little dog collar. This is for little bitty dogs. You can get, again, these at Walmart or wherever. And I've just looped that around a couple of times. And it's got a little loop here. And that won't slide off the end, and it won't go that way. It's fairly light. Then what I've done is I was in the same section and found a dog leash. Retractable dog leash. What this allows me to do is not have a bunch of loose rope around, but yet still attach that paddle to the dog leash. And what I'll do now is I'll show you how I've hooked this up. I put a little bit of Velcro here, just to keep it from flopping around, and some Velcro here on the dog leash. And I'll show you how I attach this. Put this on the tripod. And all I have done is I will attach Velcro to Velcro, keeping my dog leash line to where it's pointed up north towards me, but not relying on that Velcro. I take the cord that came with that dog leash and attach it to my little carabiner, because if it's not attached to the kayak, it is not going to stay with the kayak. So now I will take my cord that comes from the retractable dog leash, attach it to my paddle, and now I have a paddle that is not only attached to the kayak, but it keeps the cord retracted and not loose in the boat or around the boat. Whenever I'm resting, I'll pull it here or along the side with me. And it's very quick and easy, hardly any resistance with this. Really, the only way I know that it's there whenever I'm paddling is it kind of makes a little sound. I really like that. So that's my neat little trick that I picked up. And in fact, I will use that again. Now I've just stowed my paddle. I will use that again with a larger retractable dog leash. Attach it the same way with my D-ring here. Let this store in the back. Now what I attach this to is myself. If I am on a lake or a pond or something like that where it's a little bit safer to have myself attached to the kayak. Then I will put this to my life preserver so that if I happen to fall off or otherwise get separated from the kayak, my kayak won't drift off without me. You see, because I'm attached here, and this is attached to my D-ring, which always stays together. So even though this will play out a long way, I can still find my way back to the kayak. Now, here's the thing. I will never use this on a river. If you get hung up in a stringer, or within leaves, or I'm sorry, within limbs, or other hazards on the river, I would rather get separated from that kayak than to be hung up with it. So, that's why I've done this only for lakes and such. Now, there's another one of these that I don't have with me that I'll show something a little different on anchoring. Everybody loves anchoring in kayaks, but a little something different that I use the exact same thing, and I'll show you that use as well. But I really like these. They keep things out of the way, unobtrusive. They're extremely easy to pull, and depending upon the size that you get for these, different strengths. If this thing can handle a 150 pound dog trying to pull you all over the place, it's not going to have too much of a problem with me, especially laying in the water. The other advantage to this too is many of these, or most of them, have something that you can set so that it won't pull out anymore. And this would be freewheeling. So I can set it here and it won't pull any longer. So I can play out some line if I have to for whatever reason, and let it be freewheeling if I need it for that too. So, but let's see, I believe that is it for this video, showing the paddle and how to keep the paddle and yourself attached to your kayak.